Attention, ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and droids. This is your Grand Admiral Arnold, director of the video gaming division here at the Galactic Empire. And today, what we're going to be doing is basically doing kind of like a Zeta roster view. What I want to do is go through my roster today, tell you some of the mistakes I made, and also kind of tell you what I succeeded in 2019 and what my goals are moving into 2020. Having the right Zetas is key to mastering Star Wars Galaxy here. So comment down below as I go through my list. What Zetas are you looking to try to improve upon and get in 2020? And as you're typing right now, I gotta talk about a game for 10 seconds that you never ever heard about. Cue it in! Time to give another shout out to our sponsor in today's video, Raid Shadow Legends. I'm always playing this game on the side. If you're looking for a great hero RPG collector game that you can play both on desktop and your mobile device, go ahead and check this out, guys. There's a link down below in the video description. If you use it and you're a new player, you get 50,000 silver and a free epic champion as part of the new player program. Can you guys tell it's January and ad revenue drops for everyone on YouTube? Woo! All right, let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. I did this video last year, and I think I've come a long way in terms of my Zeta progress. Right now, I got 90 Zetas in Star Wars Galaxy. So with that said, let's talk about the list of 10 Zetas I really still need to improve upon and get. Some of these I see myself getting very soon. By the end of this video, I will give one Zeta to one of the characters on my list. And I want to start off here with the Night Sisters. As you've seen, I already bragged about them a little bit, did a little flex, finally caught up to them. They're doing world of wonders for me. Just had a territory war, and I used my Night Sisters for the first time to take on a really good Relic Geonosian team. I was happy. This kind of makes me feel like, all right, all this time I spent investing in this team is finally paying off. And the Zeta I'm still missing to finally really complete the whole shebang is gonna be Old Daka and her unique ability, Serve Again. Now this is gonna be really good because I'm primarily using Mother Talzin for a lot of things, and it's really important for the Sith Raid too, because anytime allies are being revived, Old Daka is gonna constantly keep getting 10% max health until the end of the encounter. Like that Geonosian bat I started showing you for my past territory wars, Night Sister Zombie kept dying off, and that just feeds so much health to Old Daka. She has one of the highest health, close to General Grievous. I think Grievous dominates in that area, but Old Daka, you cannot ignore her whatsoever. I don't even have the good mods in her, and she's already at 80,000 health. Imagine having a Night Sister die off 10 times, boom. And of course, the more health you have, the more the health that Old Daka can do through her revive ability. She's a great character all around. This is a character that it's kind of the cherry on top. It's not 100% necessary to take Night Sisters to a viable level. You really just need kind of the Mother Talzin and Asajj Zetas, but this is the cherry on top, and it's a big cherry on top. Next up, moving on to the Separatists. Now, this Zeta really has kind of been in the game for a long time, and that is Count Dooku. Kind of on my list as well is the kind of gear up Nute Gunray and Count Dooku. Those are characters I want to get geared up to gear 13, but it's very difficult and very expensive. But Count Dooku is a fantastic character. You guys always see me use this guy in Grand Arena. Fantastic character. He got bumped up from Knight to Master recently in our all characters ranking video we did the other day. And the Zeta I'm really wanting to get, and I see myself really getting this one this year sometime, that is going to be Flawless Repost. It's kind of simple. It hasn't changed drastically. This is kind of always the Zeta he had way back when he got his Zeta back in, what was it? Oh goodness, 2017. Critical hit immunity. He's not going to be able to get hit as hard. He's got protection regeneration. He's going to keep counterattacking up the wazoo, keep regenerating a lot of health and protection. And if you pair him up with things like Wat Tambor, he's going to have high health and high protection survivability. So this is Zeta I'm really striving to get this year. There's a balance between hoarding and also catching up on Zetas, because you want to make sure you try to stay up to date when new big things come up. At the same time, you want to make sure you bring up this roster of old characters up to par. You don't really need the Zeta on him to make him useful, but this would make him so much more usable and just a lot more durable in general. HK-47 is already a pretty solid character, and the only Zeta I'm missing out on is self-reconstruction, and this just gives you the extra damage when you're hitting targets with Death Mark or Fear. And it's big. I mean, he already has big damage. He's already putting 200,000 damage, but if you want to try to get up into that 300,000, 400,000 range, this does help out quite a lot. And that extra 25% more damage can sometimes determine the win or loss of a battle. If he can put the final nail into a coffin for a lot of these characters, especially because he's always resetting the cooldown on Assassination Protocol, it could make a big difference. Let's bounce back over to the Separatists, and we're going to talk about the Geonosians. Now, I already have the Zeta on Queenswell, which I think is kind of the mandatory Zeta. So that way you just spawn with the taunt right away. You're getting a 2-for-1 character special. But the Zeta I am missing is the Geonosian Swarm, and this allows you to do 10% more damage for each buffed enemy. Now, it's a good Zeta. It's a good Zeta. The reason why I've held back is because Geonosians have so many buff dispels between Sunfac, the Geonosian Brute Alpha Basic, as well as the Geonosian Spy stealing it away with Silent Strike. The chances of the enemy having a lot of buffs are going to be kind of minimal. They're going to have a lot of debuffs because of all the crazy stuff Geonosians are doing, but this doesn't hurt whatsoever because Geonosians are going to always be using their basics, and if they're using a basic, that means they're single firing attacking on someone, so there might be a good chance that there's going to be other buffs hanging around. And it's a very minor number, but when you consider damage that Geonosians can do and then just adding a little bit more, 10% to each of them, it adds over time because of all the assists they're going to end up doing. And the more damage they do, the more health and protection they're going to get because as you see, 50% health steal. So if you're adding 10% more damage to all these Geonosians assisting, they're going to help quickly try to recover all their lost health that they've been chopped away at throughout the battle. So I was flexing on my Jedi earlier, how I completed all the Jedi Zetas needed to have a really, really good team. The Zeta I just never ever got in my life because I was too busy doing things like Gar Saxon. It's gonna be Barris's Zeta Swift Recovery. Now, this is also a character I probably should gear up with Republic Offensive being some of the most difficult content in Galaxy of Heroes. This Zeta seems like it could potentially be quite helpful when you have Barris geared up a lot and you throw on the Zeta on Swift Recovery, because anytime an ally is being critically hit, that ally is going to recover 20% health. This has always been just kind of a Zeta that's been good. This Zeta has never really fallen out of it's not top end meta anymore, but it's always been a useful Zeta to have. You're going to get critically hit a lot, and that 20% health and is going to be a lot, especially considering Relics and Gear 13 are adding a lot of health on a ton of characters nowadays. Whew. And who knows, maybe if the Jedi becoming more prominent in the future with the release of Ki-Adi-Mundi and this character being a healer character, getting all those bonuses from Ki-Adi-Mundi, this Zeta may just become even more important in the next, I'd say, 3-4 months when people start unlocking Ki-Adi-Mundi. So we'll see about this. This one's definitely higher on the list because I'm just trying to prepare for the love that Galactic Republic Jedi might be getting this year with at the bare minimum Ki-Adi-Mundi, and my hope is some Galactic Republic Jedi reworks. We're bouncing around today, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zeta I do not think I'm ever going to get around to, but I know I should have, and that is going to be T3 and 4. As you guys know, with the release of General Grievous and Gear 13 and Relics making Grievous unstoppable, you guys have seen the droid nuke team with General Grievous smashing away at the Darth Revans and all these other crazy stuff. It's all because of that combat logic upgrade. If you do want to do those crazy droid lineups, this is the must-have Zeta to even get anything done. But the Zeta I have always been missing is Master Gearhead, and this is that Zeta that takes you just a little bit further to guarantee you're gonna blow out Darth Malak in the one hit of skittering horror. Couple more on the list. We're gonna move back over to Jedi. Hermit Yoda. This is a character that's always been useful. He's always been kind of a B character in the game. He's always been ranked as Master pretty much ever since his release. He may have been Grandmaster at one point. I can't quite remember, but Strength Flows Through the Force is a Zeta I kind of always wanted to have because, more importantly, this is fantastic for a lot of raid content in the game. Being able to, first off, reduce the cooldown by 1, throw this up more often, health equalize, all this other great crazy stuff you get, such as the 20% health recovery, getting the 20% protection recovery, and Jedi getting Foresight. This is great for those Jedi-based teams in like the Sith raid, using Jedi Knight Revan with Hermit Yoda. Who knows? Because he's a Jedi and he's got a support tag, he may work great in things like Ki-Adi-Mundi's lineup in the future. We'll have to wait and see. Ki-Adi-Mundi is kind of up in here. We don't really know what his gameplay looks like and whatnot, but this is a character as well. Between Barris and Hermit Yoda, those are really the two Jedi on my list I'm really keeping a close eye for potential Zeta investments. Let's talk about Mission and me and Big Z forever. At one point, I really was kicking myself for not having the Zeta. I want to say probably, well, one, the release of the Darth Malak event. This Zeta, first off, makes the Darth Malak event so much easier. Getting all those constant assists from Zalbar really helps out, especially when you're trying to take down those droids that try to make sure you control Darth Malak. This really would have came in handy. I kind of kicked myself not having Mission for that event in general. But I'm thinking more from a Grand Arena perspective. That even in the summer of 2019, I really wished I had the Zeta because Scavengers were always kind of one of those annoying teams. The Old Republic, I should say, were always kind of annoying, but they've been kind of being chipped away at in viability. Not really as amazing as they were before. Scoundrels and the Old Republic are becoming a lot more manageable to handle nowadays. You can use them in a variety of lineups, and I see them used a lot, for example, with Kira and L3 and whatnot. This is going to be a solid Zeta because Scavengers are always kind of having fun mishmash viability things going on. So I don't know if I'm going to get this because of their viability and Grand Arenas being diminished, but it is still a great Zeta. One of the better Scoundrel Zetas we have in this game. And the other Scoundrel I want to talk about is Vander Chewbacca, and I have yet to even level this guy up, gear him up, because the fact of the matter is I don't see myself giving him the Zeta anytime soon. And this character is not going to be as crazy without the Zeta on Ferocious Protector. This Zeta is the reason to gear up this character because he's got the revive mechanic for Scoundrels. And you guys have seen when I'm trying to throw Imperial Troopers at Kira, when you pair Vander Chewbacca up with Kira and let's say L337, you're going to just keep reviving L3 over and over again. Or Kira, if you can't focus down on Vander Chewbacca, he's going to make your life annoying. That's kind of where the Mission and Zaalbar thing comes in. Putting Vander Chewbacca with Mission and Zaalbar kind of makes the team a little bit more annoying. Not impossible to beat. This is probably the Zeta I don't see myself getting anytime soon. There's so many more important things on this list, and of course we have the new things coming out this year, but this is Zeta I wish I kind of woke up on. My Scoundrel faction is definitely lacking, and unfortunately, unlike my Jedi Knight system, which are a bit more important, I don't see myself getting to a lot of these Scoundrels anytime soon. The last character I really need to get the Zeta for, and that's going to be Spark of Resistance. We know General Poe's coming. We know the next Rey Skywalker, Jedi Rey, whatever the case might be, is coming to Galaxy of Heroes. There's a very high probability this Zeta is going to be extremely important to counter Darth Revan and Darth Malak because it's anti-stun and anti-fear. Those are really the only two debuffs in the game, or just effects in the game, that forces you to skip out on a turn completely. So I'm thinking this is kind of designed to help Resistance counter Darth Revan and Darth Malak in the future, because anytime allies are being prevented of taking a turn, they recover 40% health and protection and gain 40% turn meter. That is huge. Right now, it's kind of hard to appreciate this Zeta. We did a lot of testing on Resistance Hero Finn with Jedi Training Rey, and it just seemed very, very obvious. This character is not meant for Jedi Training Rey. It's meant for the new Rey, the Galactic Legends Rey, to come soon. I mean, you can kind of just see it with Rallying Call. When he's using this ability, he's forcing tanks to taunt, and Jedi Training Rey taunting is kind of what you do not want against Darth Revan and Malak, because then Darth Revan can go, all right, I'm just going to go straight after you now and put fear in everyone. I think the Zeta is going to be extremely important in the future. It's a Zeta that I'm considering getting. I may actually have to end up wheeling on this character so I can make videos on the new upcoming Rey. And this kind of leads us into the conversation of preparing for the future. I try to always keep at least one Zeta ready to go for whenever new characters come. I've been actually a bit more generous with giving out Zetas lately. I used to be a big hoarder with Zetas, then eventually I just started slapping them on Night Sisters and Jedi, and I think that was a good thing to do. Hoarding Zetas is great when you have the necessary Zetas to keep up with the game. Night Sisters, Jedi, Sith Empire, Galactic Republic, Separatists, yada, yada, yada. If you don't have any of those Zetas and you're hoarding, you're kind of hurting yourself a little bit. So I'm kind of glad I've been generous giving those Zetas to Night Sisters and Jedi to kind of make 2019 successful. But after this next Zeta I'm going to give, I think I'm going to be hoarding for a little bit, since we know the new Kylo and new Rey are probably going to be showing their faces around in 2020 and probably the next month or so. So the Zeta, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm going to be spending today, comment down below on what you think it might be. Gary, can I get a drum roll, please? Old Daka. Yes, I'm going to slap on the Zeta on Serve Again. I think this is going to be a poetic end to the journey of getting the Night Sisters up and running. I've neglected this faction for so long. It's finally time to close up the chapter. Ladies and gentlemen, Serve Again has got its Zeta, and I think there's going to be a lot of great potential for raids, PvP. I mean, I completed the Night Sister team. I am happy. Now it's just a matter of slowly gearing up the rest of Gear 13, get their relics up. But this team is going to get me so much bang for my buck, and I'm glad to finally say, beginning of 2020, Night Sisters are basically done with. Now I'm going to probably start saving for whatever is coming in the near future. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the video comment section. What Zetas are you guys looking forward to getting in 2020? What is on your to-do list? What have you neglected for so long in Galaxy Heroes? Would love to hear your thoughts. As always, comment down below. Be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to support the Empire. And I'll see you guys at the next video. Peace out, everyone.